All right, this is John Chapman with the 49ers Rush Podcast, and what we're going to be doing is breaking down Week 3's game film on the defensive side to figure out kind of why their 49ers are having so much success, looking at it from a player standpoint, scheme standpoint, the good and the bad. So without further ado, let's jump into it, and we've got to start on the back end. Here you're going to see Richard Sherman matched up with Juju, and absolutely great game, second highest rated player according to Pro Football Focus, and you're going to see Sherm playing like old Sherm. It's a simple bell technique. He's not doing the press. You can see here he's responsible for the deep third. This is the traditional under zone here. You have your flat player, your deep third, middle third, deep third here. So this is a very basic defensive scheme for the 49ers. He is responsible for Juju no matter how deep he goes. But what's important is he's looking through the wide receiver to the quarterback. And the fact that he is planting here, he's going to read both of those, his over and under key, and drive hard right here. As soon as he sees it, man, very, very great. Gets break on the ball, gets out there, does a heck of a job. And we're going to see it again here. This is another play lined up on the outside. He's not against Juju here, but you're going to see him bail out. Again, he's not forcing the press. A lot of this has to do with, one, we have a very inexperienced quarterback, Mason Rudolph, making his first career start, but also you're not wanting to get beat deep. You got to understand the defensive game plan is if he's going to win this game, it's going to be by huge explosive plays. By bailing out early, what we're doing is we are limiting them to death by 1,000 cuts if they're going to do it, and we don't think that they can perform and execute against us. So there's no need to press whenever you don't have over-the-top help, especially early. So you're going to see here, he stays with it, and again, this is a perfect, exactly the way you draw it up from a defensive side. You're going to have here, he's going to drop out into flat coverage. You're going to stay with this route until he breaks halfway past the numbers, then pass him off unless you get a good read on it. Now, there's no deep pressure to this deep third. So you're going to stay with this route, and you're going to get a 2-to-1. This linebacker here is going to be responsible for the flat outside coverage, but again, because there is no, if he turns this up on a wheel route and the ball hasn't gone yet, then you would see Richard Sherman peel off and stay in this deep third area, but we don't have that. So because the ball comes out quick and easy, he is able to drive on that, and again, the ball is out now. He's got about 1.5 to 2 yard cushion here on his wide receiver. But one of the things that makes Richard Sherman so special is the way that he can close and create contact as the ball gets into the catch point. Again, actually pretty decent pass, decent route here as well, but the coverage comes through and is able to make contact as the ball gets there. It's not a great pass, but it was somewhat on point, probably could have been caught, but because of the coverage by Sherman driving through the wide receiver, making contact, we're going to have an incomplete pass there. Now we've got Sherman on the other side. Okay, this is just a perfect route that you're going to see up here. Perfect coverage by Akello Witherspoon, who just got injured but has had as well of the first 3 weeks as any corner in the NFL. So just playing off. Now he's staying with his deep third, which again, this is the coverage philosophy, okay? He is responsible for the deep third, basically numbers, just inside the numbers all the way out here. You have your middle presence. And another thing that was very interesting, Tart played a lot of deep safety early on and switched to more in the second half. So curious to see if they're just experiencing, playing around with what Tarvarius Moore can do inside. But watch Witherspoon. He's got his responsibility. Now the ball is about to be thrown. This is where you read the quarterback and the wide receiver. He's taking care of his deep responsibility, but once he sees the ball isn't coming from here, he's going to peel off and help out his team. Perfect team coverage. He's going to peel off, get in there, and make the hit at the point of contact. One of the main concerns of Witherspoon coming out of college, Colorado, was he's not very physical. He doesn't like to hit. Well, we have not seen that this season. He gets in there. He drives with his shoulder through the catch point. Again, if this is going to be a perfect pass, one, the ball is a little bit late. Should have came out much sooner from a quarterback standpoint, but that's okay. And it's a little high, so it's going to be a difficult catch. But because he is able to drive through the wide receiver, he jars it loose for an incomplete pass. This is probably my favorite play of the game. we are going to see perfect textbook coverage across as an entire defensive unit. Now, this is in the goal line. This is a money down, and we're going to break down a couple things. First off, we're bringing 4 people up front. Now, let's start at the bottom of the screen and work our way up. So here we're going to see it's very simple. You know, we've got kind of a tray. You've got your tight end and 2 wide receivers, so it's not a trip. A lot of people refer to this as a tray or a bunch tray because you have a tight end involved in there, and just singled up top. So we'll start at the bottom of the screen and work our way up and just see how everybody does their job. So right off the bat, you're going to have, he's going to be responsible for the outside release. So it's not a true man. It's rather we're playing position. So as soon as the outside threat is discovered, which we see there, you're going to take him. Now, it's a slow developing route. He's trying to post up there. Absolutely nothing. He can jump in front of them. He's got perfect leverage to the inside, but he's not. He's also good position if he's going to run just an outside fade route. And again, this guy's 6'3", so he's got the length. He can stop outside and he can drive inside. Great play there by the outside corner, Witherspoon. Now let's see what our inside, the player of the game for the defensive side, K'Wan Williams, got his interception. He drives hard on the tight end, gets in the hip pocket, but he doesn't stay with contact, which is key, and he has inside safety help, which he understands his coverage. So he's got inside help here, and we understand that our linebacker here is going to run vertical with the number 3 wide receiver. One of the most difficult things to do with this linebacker position is you have to help in run support. But versus trips or tray, the will linebacker will always run with the inside release vertical. So he's not counting on help up top. That's why we have such athletic linebackers, because you have to run with that inside route. There it is right there. Sorry about that. So you're going to see him stay with them all the way across the field. That is not an easy thing to do, especially for Fred Warner, who struggled this year in pass coverage. But great job here walling off the defender. You see how he opens his body and his hips right here? His job, boom, right there, is to literally create a wall to where that's Juju. That's their best offensive player. If he is going to cross your face, he has to run through you, and you have to close that space. One of the most difficult things to do for linebackers in the NFL is called walling the number 3 defender. So you have to kind of create a wall here, and as he does that, you're going to have to run through me. He gets on his hip pocket, and he stays. Luckily, there's enough pressure. This is where the gap or the window should be for the pass. But again, we have our safety here to help. He is a little slow. I would much rather leave Sherman on an island and get him coming across just a little bit better. But he gets there eventually. You can kind of see if that pass is thrown. You have a possible interception here. And the very last part, Richard Sherman up top again. You cannot throw that route against him. This is what made Richard Sherman famous, is press man coverage in the goal line situation. If you throw that ball right there, this is your primary receiver, not there with the rookie quarterback, or not a rookie quarterback, but his first start. No way in hell anybody is going to make that throw. So absolute great job, and they are able to hold them out there. This was an interesting formation kind of adjustment that we have not seen with our defensive coordinator, Robert Saleh. Here you see right here, Richard Sherman coming over to the defensive right side. We have not seen this the past year. Previously, we would keep Richard Sherman up top at the defensive left side as the force player who would be responsible for the outside releasing, whether that was the running back out of the backfield, tight end, or I guess this is a wing. This is technically your tight end. He would be the force play. But this is something that they changed this week. I have not seen this before by the 49ers, where we bring over both our outside corners. He is going to be responsible for inside release, and we have Akello that's going to be responsible for outside release here. So you're going to see Sherman right off the bat, who is very, very physical, is going to get up in his space. He is going to create contact. Now, here's the play. Obviously, you can see here, it's just a wide receiver screen, and they were hoping that they would hit Sherman out there, who is so physical. And again, this is a film mock-up trying to take advantage of a better athlete in Juju Smith-Schuster versus a non-physical corner, Witherspoon, which he has shown the past 2 years that he doesn't like to hit. But this is a new Witherspoon. gets in there, takes him on a little too low. I wish he'd keep his head up and drive through his hips rather than drive through his waist. Again, that head should be up a little bit more, but you got to love this. Outside fit, great play. And again, if he whiffs on this tackle, you can kind of see he's going to have space to make a play. But with the way that Witherspoon has been playing, again, defensive MVP so far this season. Hopefully we get him back very, very soon. Now, let's look at the bad. This is the Juju Smith-Schuster touchdown. You're going to see him come out of bunch formation on the right side. It's basically just a flood route. We have our deep route here, we have our shallow route, and we have our mid-range route. Now, this is where the touchdown is going to happen, and it's not really bad yet from just straight Witherspoon. Like, he was out. It's a trail technique, and what I mean by trail technique is you want to be in his hip pocket and you want to follow, because here's the deal. You have help here by the deep safety. Now, this is a very, very late reaction to a flood route. Yes, he's tried to help here, but you have to understand this is the middle third presence that you're scared of. And because you have these two guys here, that's going to be one-on-one on the backside. Sherman should stay with him. This is a very late response. The fact that he is still in a back pedal and he is not driving down on this route, that is problematic to start with. Now, the pass comes through. Again, trail technique, we're okay. Now, as soon as the catch is made by Juju, we have a poor effort there. He trips his feet up. He falls down. He doesn't get the tackle. We should still be okay. There's a lot of field left. This is where Tarvarius Moore has struggled mightily in Week 3. One of the poorest tackling grades, not because he's missing tackles through contact. He's taken himself out of the game. He should be running almost parallel, cutting off the pursuit. The pursuit angle should cut off the trajectory of Juju Smith-Schuster. However, he doesn't even get a hand on him because he runs to where he is. Again, watch Tarvarius Moore trajectory coming down should be much flatter. Okay, he runs behind him, takes himself out of the play, doesn't even get a hand on him. And here's what's sad. Tarvarius Moore is a 4.33 40 guy, and Juju is not. He is faster than Juju, but he just takes a poor angle, and once it gets there, you can't do anything. Juju is a special player. He's going to get his, but you've got to take better pursuit angles. And the good news is this happened earlier in the game, but we're going to see Tarvarius Moore come up and make an actual good tackle. So he is capable. It's just sometimes he has mental lapses almost and just takes himself out of the play. So again, we're going to see a screen. Same two players. You have Juju ISO'd up, non-blocked Tarvarius Moore. You have a huge gap. Now, because it's a little bit more downhill, you're going to see him bounce out, get into his safety position, come up, drive through, and make an awesome play. That's great. It's literally the exact same thing. Juju could have cut outside there, but it doesn't matter. He's able to make that play. That is a good pursuit angle. One of the main things moving forward for Tarvarius Moore, the new safety, he's got to shore up his pursuit angles. He struggled big time on that. All right, now let's move to the defensive line, and we've got to talk about DeForest Buckner. This kid is special. Defo had a bad week 1, but you're going to see him here, just pure instincts, get out and chase down the screen. You're going to see him at the right defensive tackle position, and he's going to read the center. That's what's weird. He sees the center just turn and bail, not even his guy. His guy's engaging. But he sees this, he diagnoses film study, instincts. The guy that should have bailed is DJ Jones right here, but he doesn't. He gets a free pass, he keeps going, but watch DeForest Buckner chase down this play here. This block is made on Fred Warner. The seam is there. If DeForest Buckner does not get out here and make this incredible play, you're talking about, man, James Conner could have kept going for a ways. Now, right here, this is the DeForest Buckner effect, 100%. He's not going to get the tackle on this. You're going to see him here. He's going to get double-teamed. DeForest Buckner is the most double-teamed player on our defense, one of the most double-teamed players in the NFL. But whenever one person is double-teamed, that is going to create holes for other players on the defense to make the tackle. Just because he is here, that doesn't mean he's not making the play. We're going to see two things. They do a combo block. Man, Pittsburgh was awful with combo blocks week 3. Usually they're one of the better offensive line systems. So what you're going to see here is you're going to see an initial double, and then the center is supposed to work up to the second level. However, he leaves too early. Because he leaves too early, that allows DJ Jones to peel off. He does a heck of a job staying parallel to the line of scrimmage. You're going to watch him fight through that. He left too early. Because he left too early, he didn't secure this block. He is going to get in and close the inside gap. Now, a player that we're going to talk about a little bit later in this breakdown is Quan Alexander. You're going to see him right here. He is able to shoot through this. Again, Juju was late getting there. Here, the combo block here was a little too late. He's going to just knife through everybody. These two guys whiff. They don't even get their hands on them, and it doesn't matter because Quan's playing this so fast. This is whenever concept offensive blocking goes wrong. You miss here. You miss on your combo block here. DeForest Buckner doesn't get moved off the line because he's a beast. Look at the leverage, the power that he's playing through. He's low man wins. So he's just going to clog the hole. DJ Jones is going to come across, close the inside gap. Quan Alexander, the outside gap. Great run defense for no gain. Another solid player for the 49ers has been Arik Armstead, the run-stopping behemoth. You're going to see him right here. Defensive left end is going to stack 3 separate players. First off, awesome. He goes against the former 49er Vance McDonald. The leverage here is just, man, coach-worthy. He is a lot taller than Vance, but yet he is under him. He's exploding. He's going to stack the offensive lineman, or tight end in this case, and just drive him back. This is a who's your daddy moment. You're going to drive him back 1, 2, 3. He pushes him back so far, he's going to cut off the pulling lineman and knock him into the ball carrier all in one. He's not done. He's going to push you over. That's just a beast. You don't want to play anymore after this. So again, he's going to post up the tight end. He's going to make a block by using his own player and knock down the pulling lineman. And then again, boom, boom, boom. Not done. Sit down, boy. Don't try to block me again. Great play there by Arik Armstead. Now let's move into the pass rushing and kind of how this went throughout the game. This is a very, very fun play because what we're going to see is we have Bosa out here. We're going to get a little bit of a middle linebacker blitz over, okay? So watch this. It seems overloaded on the right side. Well, there's a reason why. What we're going to do is we're going to shoot. These guys are going to shoot the left gap on both of them to occupy both these blockers. We're doing a delayed blitz off the right side, but the funny thing is, everybody gets to the quarterback. We're going to have 3 guys hit the quarterback on this one. Bosa, Warner, and Arik Armstead's going to, Buckner. There it is. Boom. All 3 of these guys get in there and just drill the quarterback. No way you can complete a pass. And it happens quick. It doesn't take long. Again, if we look at the timing from the ball snap, 1,001, 1,002, and hit. He's hit right at 2.5 seconds. Lots of pressure. The Steelers' game plan this entire game was to get rid of the ball quick, and still were able to get pressures on the quarterback. Nick Bosa had 7 pressures on the quarterback in this game, 2 quarterback hits. How are you supposed to complete a pass when you've got 3 guys draped all over you like that? It's not going to happen much. The pass rush was very efficient, although not very stat heavy, and a lot of that was just because they got rid of the ball so often. All right, this is going to be our Nick Bosa almost sack. You're going to see him get in here, and this is just the right defensive end, okay? So let's pay really close attention to him here, and we did this a lot of the game as well. The wide 9, they motioned this tight end to come in and help, but if you notice on both sides of the defensive, but they just motioned him in. Wide 9 here, wide 9 here. A big reason why they're able to do that is because they are bringing all these men into the box to help in the running game. They did this a lot on 3rd downs. But let's watch Nick Bosa here come in and get contact. Villanueva is one of the best offensive tackles in the entire NFL. He is able to hit him and make this awesome move and just literally slide off of him, fight through everything, and then almost get the quarterback. This was the game of almost for Bosa. Now, does he get a sack here? No, he doesn't. But he is able to force the quarterback out of the pocket in the goal line by not giving up. Man, if he could just make that play, that'd be one thing, but it's what it is. Great play there by Bosa. Sacks are coming, people. He is now 10th in the NFL as far as forced pressures. He's just got to finish the deal. You can see he's happy but mad at the same time. Now, as far as somebody that gets a lot done with little, DeForest only got 16 snaps this game, but he made his presence felt big time. Look at this third down sack. Talk about explosion. One of the fastest people in the NFL. This is not a wide 9. This is a wide 11. The wide 9 is where you can draw a line from your inside foot through the outside tackle's foot to the quarterback's foot. So it's almost a geometry thing. He's a little bit wider than that. Now, he gets upfield so quick. His first step is unbelievable. Now, once he gets to quarterback depth, this is what we call the defensive bend. Okay, he gets to the depth where the quarterback is. Boom, right there. He's at quarterback depth. So if he keeps upfield, you're just going to go past him. So what you have to do is you have to bend and use your leverage to stay underneath, drive through, and then flatten your angle. Flatten right here to get to the quarterback. And that's what we're going to see. Boom. And then it's just pure speed after that. Gets down, finishes the move. Man, the ball comes out there. I wish it would have counted as a sack, but the fact that he had such a great game on only 16 snaps is huge. All right, we got a couple more plays here. This is the best play of the game, the K'Waun Williams interception, and it starts up front. Look at the pressure. You're going to try to make this pass. What is wrong with you? That is not good. One running to the quarterback's right. You've got a huge giant man draped all over you, and you're trying to fit it in this window. That is not going to go well. K'Waun Williams plants, comes across, gets the interception. And again, a lot of this is because when the quarterback can't step up into the pass, it's going to float. You can see how his shoulders are back. The way the shoulders look, if the non-throwing shoulder is tilted up, that tells you what the pass is going to do. It's going to float. You want to drive that shoulder down to get power, but whenever he is leaning back, going against his body, that ball is going to float. You can even see it duck out of there. That's a quacker right there for sure. Great effort by the quarterback, but you just got to take a sack on that one. Again, you just see it just come out. It's non-spiral, gets the interception, and it was great coverage anyway. Even if K'Waun doesn't get it, watch the coverage coming across. I mean, that is just, he's there. He's undercutting right here. That's Jaquiski Tart against Juju. That pass should have never been made, but it was all made possible by the pressure up front, so you got to give those guys credit. Let's focus a little bit on the linebackers quickly. And I'm going to show this play twice. I'm going to talk too much on this play. I already know it. Kwon Alexander, this is all 22. He is one of the best inside-out leverage linebackers. And what I mean by that is here. As of before this play starts, his gap integrity, they're going to motion out, and that's going to change everything. Okay? His gap integrity is right here. So we have this gap, and Fred Warner is responsible for this gap at the play start. Now, as soon as you get motion, boom, you have your pulling guards. Now it changes. This is a gap exchange between your defensive end and the linebackers behind him. Again, he's got this gap right here. He's got this gap right here. Now, as soon as the play starts, boom, everything just changed. As soon as he goes around on the end around, that changes. Now, he has outside contain here. He's responsible for here. Because he got this down block, he is now responsible for these pullers. He has to stop them. His gap changes from just being straight up to once he gets that read, he now has outside contain. His gap, Fred Warner, is going to change from play side gap to now he has backside contain. So he's here to check this. Watch Kwon Alexander immediately just fly past everything and replace to the outside. I'm going to show this again from the end zone view. And again, this is perfect scheme, something that we struggled with mightily. The big reason why Solomon Thomas doesn't get the playing time is that he struggled with this big time, this gap exchange. He gets out there, great speed, and makes a play. Now let's look at it from here. This is the same play, and again, you can see the gaps here. This is his gap. This is his gap. This is his gap. This is his gap. This is outside. on this side right here. Now, once all the movement and everything gets going, it's all changed now. It's all changed. You can see Buckner and Armstead are going to clog this middle. Tart doesn't do a great job, but that's okay. He's able to tie everybody up to get him to the opposite side. Great play there by Quan Alexander. And also, you got to give credit as well to Arik Armstead for occupying these pullers. You're going to see him here. As soon as he gets that down block on his key, his job is to flatten and make sure these pullers can't get out to the linebacker at the second level. So whenever they come, boom, he's going to meet him here, and you want to occupy the second puller. If you can do that, that's a win. You can see how he exchanges it. That's just absolutely textbook defensive end play again. Another example of somebody not getting the tackle, but making the play. Occupy the first blocker, occupy the second blocker to where he can't get to the linebacker. That's a simple ISO play after that.